Hello, my name is Megan Lester, and I chose to read Stephen King's On Writing. Stephen King was born September 21st in 1947 in Portland, Maine. He is still currently living, and he still currently writes novels and for television. He graduated from the University of Maine with a degree in English in 1970. In 1973, he sold his first successful novel, which was Carrie. He has sold over 350 million copies worldwide of all of his works, and he is critically acclaimed as one of the most influential horror writers of his time. The book On Writing, published in 1999 originally, is a how-to of the craft of writing and a memoir of King's life, particularly the parts that involve writing, his rise to fame, the struggles that he dealt with in his early years, all the rejection that he had to deal with and push through, and his eventual success. Not only does he tell the truth about the industry in this novel, he also gives the readers hope. He also gives the readers an idea into what to expect when someone begins writing and starts out their career as a writer. And he also gives technical advice and technical facts on how to write, such as how to use wordplay, the use of adverbs, grammar, all the technicalities of writing as well. In his novel On Writing, he covers basically his top 20 rules for writers. Starting out, it's first write for yourself, then worry about the audience. Don't use passive voice. Avoid adverbs. Avoid adverbs, especially after he said and she said. Don't obsess over perfect grammar. The magic is in you. Read, read, read. Don't worry about making others happy. Turn off the TV. You have 3 months. There are 2 secrets to success. Write 1 word at a time. Stick to your own style. Dig. Take a break. Leave out the boring parts and kill your darlings. The research shouldn't overshadow the story. You become a writer simply by reading and writing. Writing is about getting happy. Now, these top 20 rules have a lot within them, and I'm not going to go over what exactly they are because it is in the novel. Basically, the novel goes over all the top 20 rules and goes into depth with them, and those are either in part with his memoir or by his advice on writing, by his technicalities of writing. But these top 20 rules is a big chunk of what the book is about, or what you will learn in the book as you read it. Anyone who is an aspiring writer or likes to read, just anyone that enjoys literature in general should read this novel. But especially those that like to write, and especially those that want to try to become a published author. On the back of the novel, this is the description. It says, "Long live the King," hailed Entertainment Weekly upon the publication of Stephen King's On Writing, part memoir, part masterclass by one of the best-selling authors of all time. This superb volume is a revealing and practical view of the writer's craft, comprising the basic tools of the trade every writer must have. King's advice is grounded in his vivid memories from childhood, through his emergence as a writer, from his widely reported near-fatal accident in 1999, and how the inextricable link between writing and living spurred his recovery. Brilliantly structured, friendly, and inspiring, On Writing will empower and entertain everyone who reads it, fans, writers, and anyone who loves a great story well told. And I really couldn't describe the novel better than that. I read it twice, once when I was in high school, and once now. When I was in high school, I was awarded Creative Writing Student of the Year, and this book was my award. And it was one of the best gifts I could have received. Many years ago, being a writer was what I wanted to do with my life. I still would like to dwell in that, but reality has changed it to law. However, this novel was very influential to me in my younger years when I was writing. I actually was published in a magazine twice, once for a short story, once for poetry. And that wouldn't have happened if I had not read this novel. One of my personal favorite things about the novel is that, as I said in my written book review, Stephen King isn't talking for an audience. He isn't putting on a show or giving the audience what they want to hear. Reading the novel it feels like Stephen King is speaking to you directly, to you, the one that is reading the novel. And I feel like it doesn't matter who you are, what type of writer you are, or what type of experience you have, that he will speak to your situation specifically. You will find something for you specifically in his novel. One of my favorite passages in the novel shows the true nature of the book, and it shows that he challenges what we already think we know as writers. He says, "You've blown up your TV and committed yourself to 1,000 words a day, come hell or high water. Now comes the big question. What are you going to write?" An equally big answer: anything you damn well want. Anything at all, as long as you tell the truth. The dictum in writing class used to be, write what you know. Which sounds good, but what if you want to write about starships exploring other planets, or a man who murders his wife, then tries to dispose of her body with a wood chipper? How does the writer square either of these, or 1,000 other fanciful ideas, with the write what you know directive? Isn't that true? We've always heard write what you know, because that will give you the best story. However, just as Stephen King states, if you write what you know, then you're never going to write anything else. And based on his work, I'm sure he doesn't have experience with Clowns and Under the Dome and Misery and all those novels that he is critically acclaimed for, but he is critically acclaimed. So my advice would be to take his advice. But yes, 10 out of 10 recommend this book to those that are interested in Stephen King specifically, those that want to write, those that like to write, and for those who just enjoy a well-written, good story.